Hello Pisces, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so excited to have you here. We're going to dive right into your reading today. Thank you all for your feedback yesterday on yesterday's reading. I really do appreciate how much you guys really interact with me. I think you're wonderful. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I'm very, very happy to have you. And to those who regularly comment, subscribe, like, share, all of you, thank you so much for your support. We're going to dive right into your reading. It's just important to remember these are general readings and we just want to take what resonates and leave the rest. For Pisces, please Spirit, for Pisces. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay, Pisces, you're getting mirroring and you have love on the bottom of the deck. I'm just going to keep going. I am going to just keep going. You have this 6. I feel whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, it feels like someone else is thinking, feeling these things too. Okay, some of you have a past person coming back. I kind of always hesitate to kind of just go here or just jump off this bridge because it can be sort of an unhealthy bridge to continuously jump off. But what I am feeling, and keep in mind, this is a general reading and we're going to clarify and, listen to your own intuition and see what resonates here. But I feel as though there is someone in your world, Pisces, who is feeling about you the way that you're feeling about them. In this mirroring card, there are just these two up close faces and they're really and honestly as close as they can be without touching, and their eyes are closed. They're not considering anything beyond or outside of this feeling of closeness, okay, is what's coming through to me. And with this love on the bottom of the deck, it's focusing on the neck and the necklaces. And the neck, of course, this is where our throat chakra resides. This is where, we communicate from. And with those necklaces, it's giving me that feeling of I carry you with me wherever I go, meaning we may not always be together, or we may have been in separation, or we may be in separation. It's something like that is coming through really super strongly for me. And then it feels very confirmed by this Whispers of Love energy, the Whispers of Love Oracle energy. It's saying embrace your emotions. And for me, I feel like it may have been hard for someone to embrace their emotions or for them to communicate how they were feeling. And it may be that someone is saying, you know what, I want to embrace this. I want to embrace how I'm feeling. I want to embrace, it feels like my truth, my authentic truth. Or it's almost even like I have set my feelings aside so often, to accommodate other people or to accommodate a situation. It's like I put my feelings aside, and now I'm saying, you know what, there's nothing more important than my feelings. It's time that I choose this. It's time that I focus on this. This could be you, Pisces, or it could be the other person, or with this mirroring energy, it could be that both of you are prioritizing this at this time. It literally says, allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. Sometimes when we don't trust people with our truth, when we feel like if I tell someone how I feel, they're going to judge me, or they're going to skew it into whatever they want it to be, or twist it, or, I just don't know how to really say what I'm trying to say, but so we bury our own feelings in order to maintain the comfort level of the people around us. Do you feel what I'm saying? If we just said, screw that, this is how I'm feeling, you deal with it, or like you think about it however you want. I can't control that. Like, I'm getting this energy of an inheritance, and like, if I leave you money in my will, obviously I can't control how you're going to spend it. I won't even be here to watch you spend it. I won't even be here to say, oh, you're going to make that decision. Well, what about this? Or to even sort of steer you in a direction with it. I'm gone. I've left you my worldly possessions. It's like that. So this can be like discomforting a parent. This could be even possibly someone has passed away, and it's giving someone the opportunity or the freedom to sort of be who they naturally and really are. Like it could just be like a metaphor or an example of I'm putting this out there, and I can't control how you're going to take it, what you're going to do with it, where you're going to take it from where I put it out there, but this is my truth, and I have to be comfortable with my truth. But, you know, it's saying allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. Meaning, it might be more okay than you think it is. Or it might be where someone is trying to do that and hoping that they will be accepted, but knowing that it's like, well, I don't get to say whether it is or whether it isn't, but once the cat is out of the bag, the cat's out of the bag. I can't put it back in. Then you have this back to what you love card, reevaluate your desires. This is interesting because over the beginning of this year, I really told myself this is going to be a year where I get back into reading. I used to be like the most avid reader ever. You could not catch me without a book. I was like known for it. As a child, I mean, I literally remember what I was wearing. I remember where I was laying, what I was doing, what time of year it was, who was around me when I was reading Beverly Cleary books, like Runaway Ralph, when I was like 5 or 6 years old. I think that was my first chapter book, and I got it for Christmas. And so it's been historically this part of my life that I've, you know, in having kids, you know, at first I started, you know, trying to carry around a book and reading it while I was waiting for their, you know, doctor's appointments where they were going to get their shots. But your attention is like pretty much always on your kids, or it's always somewhere else, or always something else, or you're always having to do something. And so reading just sort of fell by the wayside. So it's been a good, like, you know, 25 years since I've really been the voracious reader. I've read books, but like not, I mean, reading every single day like I used to. And so I promised myself this year, I was like, I'm going to read this year. And the first 5 months of the year were just really crazy and really hectic. And I think there was part of it was something about like my mother-in-law passing away. Those things make you think, okay, I can't put off anymore. Like, if I put off, I'll be putting off inevitably. And then I'll be on my deathbed going, why didn't I read the books? Why didn't I, you know what I mean? Why didn't I live the life that was most in resonation with me? Why did I put those things off? Why did I sacrifice those things? And and then that coupled with the fact that my YouTube feed just suddenly started being filled with this like booktube situation. And so I started reading, and I haven't stopped. I've read 6 books in like 6 weeks, and I'm thrilled. I'm so happy. And you realize the impact that it has, because it's just like painting. You start noticing things in life. You start becoming more aware and more observant, you know, because when you're reading a book and they're describing how a place smells, you're like, whoa, it makes a profound difference. It kind of cements something in your mind or brings another sense in that is so critical and important. And so then once you start going into new places or you start smelling smells, you start thinking like, what words would I use to describe this? When you paint, you start looking at the world in like composition, like, wow, that would be a beautiful picture. And then you break it down into like shapes and colors and light and shadow. And, you know, you start composing everything like that. So it has an effect on everything. And it also has an effect on the way that you feel about yourself, that you are living your truth, that you are living your authenticity, that, you know, you're making time to build and create and live a life that you love to the best of your ability. You know, there are things that we have to do that we don't want to do, but for every one of those things that we have to do that we don't want to do, we should at least be able to have a moment of something that we do want to do. And it's like, I know I can get through what I don't want to get through because I'm going to have this reward at the end of it. And as long as those rewards are healthy choices, you are going to see your life fill in and become more fulfilled, and you will feel yourself becoming more emotionally content. And that changes everything. And it changes not only the way you look at life in terms of composition, shapes, light, dark, color, but also in words, descriptions, but also in the way that you're more loving, you're more understanding, you have, that cup is full, so you can give more, you can be present more, you can, you know, when you're having a conversation, you have more things to draw from of, yeah, I was painting, or yeah, I was reading, or yeah, I was this, or I was that, you know. And this back to what you love card, I feel like this is someone coming back to what they love, but I feel like the basis of why they're coming back to what they love is exactly what I just said to you about reading, about painting, about all of that. Because when you're living your authentic truth and you're willing to, you know, live your truth and just allow it to surface and be accepted, people may not like it. People may judge you for it, but they have to accept it. They have to. They have no choice. It's your life. They can't control you. You can't control another person. So there's kind of this element of, it is a little rebellious and it is a little like F you, but not really like that. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. It's just that like, I'm tired of living in a box or not living the life that I, you know, really want to curate for myself. Because I'm trying to make you feel comfortable, or because, you know, I'm prioritizing this over my own emotions and over my own love and over my own happiness. So, and there's this energy of, you know, in the beginning of The Wizard of Oz where it goes from black and white to color. It's like that. It's like someone almost knows that like when I follow the path of what I love and when I follow my truth and when I follow my authenticity, I'm living my life in full color. When I'm not, I'm still living. Things are still happening. I'm still part of the story. I'm still there in it, but it's black and white. You know what I mean? I don't even know. I just hope you guys are getting it. Then on the bottom of the deck, you have simple acts of kindness. And it says, kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you. And this is what I'm talking about. When you are living in your truth and when you are saying, okay, you know what? This is important to me, or I like this part of myself, or I like the payoff that I get from this, or I like, you know, having this as part of my identity, or whatever it is. You know, the reason, and actually the reason that it was so prevalent even on my mind at the beginning of the year is because my husband's cousin passed away in October, like right before I started the channel. And she was an avid reader her entire life, and she kept notebooks of every book she ever read. She was also a professor. And she was amazing. She was so super cool, but she passed away and she was just a couple years older than I was. And she wrote her own obituary. And in her obituary, when she described herself, this was the thing that she said about herself, about that she had read ceaselessly her entire life and had kept these notebooks and had all these notebooks of all the books she read, what she thought about them, characters, you know, quotes, like everything from all these books. And I thought, you know what, that is something that gave her such happiness and such fulfillment that that's what she wrote in her obituary. I gotta get back into reading. I just have to. We just don't have time to wait. And then I put it off again because that's how we are as human beings. And then when my mother-in-law was in the same kind of situation, I was like, no, you can't keep putting it off. You have to draw a line. You have to say now. The reason I'm telling you all these stories is, I'm sure, because there is an emphasis here on a timing, or on, I can't keep putting something off. I have to do something now. The payoff is worth it. Who I want to be and where I am directing my energy and where I want to go is in that direction. And so this is how I take that first step. All right, guys, let's see. See? Yep. Somebody, or this may even be something that's really going on in the general collective or like the world at large. There may be some kind of reevaluation here of what we're prioritizing. You know, society sort of makes us believe that what we need to prioritize is making money, you know, buying things, getting things, doing things, accomplishing things, you know, putting little letters after our name, you know, whatever the thing is, you know, whatever you're buying into. Society's got something to sell you. But where is that really taking us? Is that taking us in the direction that we really want to go? Is that really bringing us closer to anything meaningful? Okay, there's a major energy here about worrying what other people think, or living our lives to not upset other people, or to meet expectations of other people. I don't know if this is you, or if this is them, or if this is both of you. But there's kind of this energy that is emerging out of that, of no more, not for one single second. There's almost this energy of realizing that it's almost like people pleasing is a destructive habit. And it may not just be people pleasing, it could be anything. But I mean, honestly, if you're living a life that you truly love, you're not like drinking alcohol to escape. I'm not saying you're not drinking alcohol. You may drink alcohol to enjoy. I love a beautiful cocktail. I really do appreciate that. But I'm not drinking it to like hide from anything. I'm drinking it to sit and appreciate the sensation of it, or the experience of it. What is this energy? All I can say is that it feels very much like a reprioritization of what's really important to me. And it's almost like looking at why I have avoided this, or why I have chosen something other than this for a long time, and then understanding that is where the opportunity lies within myself to fix myself. So like, sometimes we don't prioritize ourselves because we don't think we're worth it, or because we feel like people wouldn't like us, or wouldn't want to be friends with us, or wouldn't want to hang out with us if we were not useful to them. You know, there's all different reasons. But this emotional intimacy card is really giving me the feeling of how can I like expect other people to respect my feelings when I don't? How can I expect other people to prioritize my feelings when I'm not? There's this energy of inner work with emotional intimacy, and emotional intimacy says healing relationship with self. Inner child precedes successful relationships. Love is energy. And that it's like choosing things or prioritizing things or choosing other people, trying to prioritize making other people feel comfortable or meeting other people's expectations of you above your own self-worth or like above your own self. It's like a flashing neon light to other people that you're deprioritizing yourself, and so they can deprioritize you too. And it's kind of like almost this awakening of, if I'm deprioritizing myself, then and expecting other people to prioritize me the way that I'm prioritizing them, it's like a fool's errand. You know, it's like when you really look at that equation, like if you were to write that down and you were to really look at it and you were to really just sit with it, you would realize the flaw in it. You would realize why that equation does not solve for zero. You know, it does not solve for neutrality or for equality. It's weird because how I'm also seeing it is like, let's say you're in love with someone and that someone is still trying to make their parents happy. You're prioritizing them over yourself. They're prioritizing their parents over themselves. So what you're giving to them, they're giving to their parents. It's like, I don't even know. It's like the strangest thing. It's like showing itself to me in that way. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm diving into the tarot. What I'm going to tell you is someone or both of you are coming to major realizations about why relationships have not worked, or why like love hasn't found me, or why it's like the premise in which I have been living my life is the reason why it's not working. It's all I can say to you. It's like, it's an awakening, for sure. Let's look. For Pisces, please, Spirit, what can you show me for Pisces? Okay. Oh my gosh. When I chose this deck, I was like, why am I choosing this deck? This deck, I love this deck. But usually when I'm choosing this deck, it's because there's some message. No other deck is going to give you the same messages that this deck is going to give you, because the pictures are so different, and because just the feeling of the deck, even when you shuffle it, everything about it is just different. And this Knight of Swords is very, very interesting to me because, you know, it is like, okay, I get this idea. I have this, it's like, there's something here about how someone is viewing the world, or like, it's like I'm looking at the world this way, and then I'm having these expectations, and then I'm getting disappointed. And I keep doing it. And it's because this is the only sort of way I've ever seen the world. Like, I'm not even considering that I could change that. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's probably a childhood wound, I'm guessing, or it's like something that's been passed down, something that you observed from your parents. And so it's like, I keep thinking this way, and then there's like, so it's like, this is the way I'm thinking, right? And I'm thinking, it's like I'm projecting my own opinion of how the world should be onto the world. And then the world isn't really showing up for me because there's this web, everything is connected. So the world is mirroring what everyone is thinking the world should be like, and what it is in and of itself by its own very nature. I don't want to overcomplicate this, and I don't want to get too abstract, but this card is pretty freaking remarkable because this spiral is this, it's significant of really doing the inner work or going within to find the answer instead of looking out in the world for the answer. And it is this feeling of like saying, okay, no, there are no more days for me to put off reading. This is a promise that I've made to myself. This is a part of my identity that I love. This is something that is important to me. I've already put it off for pretty much half my life, you know, like, and it's a part that I have really missed, and it's a part that I really love. And it's a part that every chance I've ever felt that I've gotten, I've run back to, but I just haven't been able to keep it up consistently. And now I'm going to commit to it myself. I'm going to see where it takes me. And then my whole view of the world changes. And the way the world views me changes. Because I'm operating from a different idea of what the truth is. Because now the truth has shifted. Now what is important to me is important. It's not just important to me, it's important to anyone that wants to connect with me. All right. So we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles here. And we have the 7 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And this is telling me I have put the desires of other people ahead of me. And like, all of the desires of other people have kept me really busy and kept me really occupied and kept me really focused on, you know, on that, how to meet the desires of other people. And now I'm rising up out of this mess. I'm understanding that this, I was surviving it, but I wasn't thriving in it. But now that I'm prioritizing my own desire and keeping my own desire first and foremost in my mind, my heart, and my life, things are changing. This is the destructive habit. This is where we emerge with a boundary, 7 of Wands, and where we're fighting for what's important to us, for our own desire, and to prioritize our own desire. With the 5 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles, let me tell you, being a martyr and taking care of everyone else's desires first is still potentially going to leave you here at the 4 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles, where you're saying, you know, like, look, the more you give to people, the more they're going to try to take. And then you're over here like, but I just need a minute to myself. I just need one thing in my life. You're reducing who you are and what's important to you and what you love down to its barest, most basic place. And you're taking care of other people's needs, and people will keep taking, people will keep needing, people will keep wanting, people will keep doing that. And with the Five of Pentacles, you know, when you stop giving to them, when you hold a boundary, a lot of times people will be like, oh, okay, I can't take from you anymore. You have nothing to offer me anymore. Oh. And a lot of times, if your basic fundamental belief is that if you're not useful to people, they will leave you out in the cold, and that's why you give and prioritize other people's desires above your own, then that's exactly what's going to happen, and that's where it's going to leave you. I know that from experience. Nothing teaches you how to hold a boundary like a lesson like that. Let me clarify this. Someone's opinion of the world is changing, or someone's perspective, I think is what I really want to say. And it's their understanding that no one else is going to prioritize their desire or just light their candle for them. Even they can kill themselves trying to light everyone around them's candle. But if theirs goes out, there may be no one there to light their candle. Lighting everyone else's candle first is no guarantee that yours is going to be lit. You have to prioritize your own candle. It's like the oxygen mask situation. This is freaking fascinating. This is absolutely fascinating. I really love the tarot. So your Knight of Swords, remember how I was telling you, it's like the way this person was thinking was keeping them stuck. It was actually preventing them from being able to have what they wanted or being able to see what they wanted. It's like, I think the simplest way I can say it is thinking that something outside yourself is going to give you a sense of emotional contentment that has any stability or sustainability to it is, you know, I don't know why I keep getting like a fool's errand. I don't even say those words, but I'm like literally seeing the Fool card and I'm getting like fool's errand. Like it's something that it's only a task that a fool would go out on, you know, because it's not possible. It's not that you can't try, and it's not that you can't keep trying. You can, and you can occupy every day of your life like that if you want to. But it's not going to give you a sense of emotional contentment. And that's why it's a fool's errand, because only a fool would look outside themselves for something that can only be found inside themselves. But with the Two of Swords, it's a way of thinking that's keeping someone all tied up in it. It's a way of thinking that's keeping someone from even being able to see the contentment that already exists in their life. Because they're so focused on what they don't already have, or on where they're going, or what they want, or what they need, or what is outside themselves that they're longing for, that they're desiring, that they think is going to fill them up. It's like, have you guys ever watched Kung Fu Panda? That was my dad's like favorite movie. My dad literally would cry watching that movie. He's like looking for the recipe for the secret sauce or whatever. I never really sat down and watched it, but like I've seen enough of it, I think. I mean, I could be wrong is what I'm saying to you. But it's like he's looking for the recipe for the special ingredient, and then it's like it's in him all the time. Like he has it the whole time. He is it, maybe. I'm not sure. That's kind of what it is. It was inside you the whole time. It's like that solid, stable beginning that you need to launch any dream, to launch any adventure, to launch any cycle in your life. It exists within you. And it is in this making the decision to just freaking read right now, to just buy a book and sit down and read. And even if your mind is wandering, even if because you're out of practice, because you haven't done it in a long time, or because maybe you picked a book based on a cover and the story isn't doing it for you, whatever the case may be, get through it. Just do it for yourself, you with you. And then it becomes easier. And then you're like, wow. And it's like the same with meditation. It's the same with yoga. It's the same with baking. It's the same with like all the things that I do. It's the same. And you know, there are times where I will get in a nasty habit of being like, oh, you know, like I'll go out of town and I'll stop doing yoga, or I'll just do like a few things here and there. Or I'll stop with my like actual routine. And then it's really hard sometimes for me to get back in it. But it's like I have to love myself and desire the balance of what I achieve in my life when I am doing all of these things to motivate myself to do them, to recommit to myself and to love myself enough to choose those things for myself. And this is kind of like that. It's like, you know, to stop saying, this is what I don't have, or, you know, like, oh, sometimes it can even feel, and like, what I want, like, what I want, I can't have right now. So maybe I could turn my focus and focus on what this person wants and help them get what they want. And then maybe it'll be my turn after that. Or maybe, you know what I mean? It's like we play all these tricks and games with ourselves with this Two of Swords. We do these mental gymnastics of justifying, you know, things. Sometimes it's because things are hard, or because things require energy or effort, or because things really require focus and commitment or discipline and determination or whatever for us to really hang in there and hang with it and do it. And sometimes it's easier to sort of stay in this mental limbo of, well, this is what I want, but I can't really do it right now because X, Y, and Z. And really what we're saying is, you know, this is what I desire, but I'm prioritizing all this stuff over here instead. But I'm still expecting that this will eventually happen. It doesn't work like that. So I feel like someone, this could be you, Pisces, or this could be your person, is finally saying, no, I have to stop. I have to stop thinking that things are going to change, or that even I'll be happy when, or that in some point in the distant future, things are, you know, someone's going to prioritize me, or I'm going to find the person that prioritizes me. That person is you. That person is you. If you don't prioritize you, nobody else is going to. And so it's kind of this thing where it feels like, you know, with the Seven of Pentacles clarifying the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, and especially with the Four of Pentacles being on the bottom of the deck again, but in a totally different energy. You see how this Four of Pentacles, I mean, it's like you got people all here taking, you know, whatever they want from the situation. Here it's like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. This is my precious. Pentacles are what matter to you. It's your currency. That can be energy, that can be love, it can be money, it can be whatever. But this is what matters to you. And it's like saying, no, what matters to me, and I'm not going to put it aside or shove it aside or say that it doesn't matter as much as it does, or, you know, build a foundation off someone else's dream or someone else's desire or whatever. Like, this is my foundation. My foundation is, you know, this. And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's saying, and I'm prioritizing it, and I'm investing in it, and I'm tending to it. And I know that it may not pay off right away. I know that I may not get this huge windfall of what I want in my life just because I've made this decision or this choice to prioritize myself or to make myself my own foundation. And you know, not prioritize your desires over my desires, or try to make you feel comfortable and sacrifice my own desire in order to do that. I'm paying attention to me, and I'm growing me. You know, I'm planting those seeds, I'm tending to those seeds, I'm growing those seeds, and you know, I'm not worrying about everybody else's everything. So someone, you know, if someone wasn't making you a priority, or someone was prioritizing a lot of other things or other people above you, I feel very much like this is a time where they're having this sort of realization. And this feels, it doesn't feel like they jump from this space to like, I'm going to go be in a relationship with Pisces. It feels like they're in this space of having this realization and beginning to sort of fundamentally understand how important it is for them to prioritize themselves. So, and you know, like if this is someone from the past and they may have taken and not given to you, and you're like, how can you say that they didn't prioritize themselves in the past when all they did was take? Taking is a very empty experience that actually compounds the problem itself and makes you feel emptier. Have you ever seen an episode of Hoarding? Or Hoarders, or whatever that show is? Taking only makes you feel more empty and more desperate. And normally the reason you're taking is because you felt empty to begin with. Is because you felt you had nothing to offer, is because you didn't see your own worth and value, because you had set it aside at some point to accommodate probably someone else or the circumstance or the situation in your life. And so now you're trying to meet your needs in a different way. Wow. This is all about desire, like holy moly. So we have the Nine of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. And you have the Page of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So I'm getting this feeling with the Nine of Wands. It's a little bit different. You know, the Nine of Wands is like that wounded warrior. And you know how it feels? It feels like a repeating pattern, or like an experience that I keep having. This can be even like I keep trying to help other people, and then, you know, it's like I keep getting this feeling of like I keep trying to do this in order to get this response, or it's not even like I'm doing this in order to get this response, but I'm doing this, and then the response I'm getting is something unexpected, like I'm being abandoned, or I'm being neglected, or it's not being returned to me. I keep trying, but it keeps leaving me empty and alone. This can even be someone who's in sort of a miserable situation in their life, who it's like, I keep enduring and I keep trying and I keep trying to change it. I keep trying to see a different perspective. I keep trying, I continue to justify it and to hang in there and to not let it go. but it keeps not being what I need it to be, or it keeps not, it becomes a bigger burden, or it's almost like every day is the same, is sort of the energy that I'm getting. And I'm almost lifeless, but I'm alive. You know, I don't, like, guys, I don't know, man. I do not know. And it's like, I see this face praying, you know, with these praying hands. And it's like, I'm praying for it to change. I'm giving it my best effort. And I keep trying, I keep hoping that something's going to change. I keep hoping that this is going to give way to something else, or that, you know, whatever. And it doesn't. And have you ever thought about that? Like, have you ever seen somebody who's in a really miserable relationship and they just keep staying in it? And you're like, why? It is consuming you. It is preventing you from having any other experience out there. It is the bane of your existence, and it is like 90% of your existence, you know? And you're going, why are you doing that? You don't have to do that. But the person is like, they're making the most valiant effort ever to like make something work that's just not meant to work. And it even keeps wounding them. Or it's like, sometimes the wound is feeling nothing at all. Apathy, you know? I've definitely had friends that have had, you know, husbands who are just, well, I don't know. Like, I don't want to place blame anywhere, because I just think blame is ridiculous. I just don't think it has any place in this world. I think blame is absolutely pointless and toxic. But you just see it where somebody, it's like they're a wonderful, amazing person, and they may even, like, their career may be on fire. They may be the most amazing friend. They may always show up for you. They may always, you know, I just don't even know how to describe it. But it's like, then they are in this relationship that is absolute crap, that is not meeting their emotional needs, that is making them miserable. They might even be in a relationship with a narcissist. And you're like, you know, you don't say anything to people like that, but when they start saying something to you, you're like, yeah, you know, but they keep holding on, and they keep trying, and it keeps wounding them, and they keep praying that it will change. And it's like, you can almost see the person doing cartwheels and flips, and, you know, trying with everything they have to make it work. And then at other times saying, screw that, I'm not trying. I've tried everything I can. I'm not going to do it anymore. And then go back to trying again. And it's, you know, it's these games that we play with ourselves, really, that, you know, and what is at the bottom of it, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, well, I made a commitment, and, you know, that commitment means something to me. I'm a person of integrity, so I've got to honor that commitment. Or it's like, you know, I don't really think that I could do better than what I have. Or, you know, sometimes it's not that bad. Or, you know, this is the only type of relationship I've ever seen or ever really known to exist. Or, you know what I mean? It's like there's something there that's driving that, or that's keeping that person holding on. And sometimes we just get sucked up in the wave of it. And we've been doing it for so long that we don't consider doing something else. And that's why, you know, I mean, it is important to have people in your life who love you, or who could say to you, hey, you know, is that necessarily healthy for you? But even then, sometimes if someone says that to someone, that someone will stop talking to them, because, like, how dare they, you know? So, you know, it's a double-edged sword, really. But there's an energy here of like, I've tried, I've prayed, I've stayed in it, I've stayed committed to it, I've done everything that I can do. I've even tried to rekindle my own desire, or see what I desired in this thing in the first place. But with the Two of Swords, it's like it's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you stagnant. It's not allowing you to move beyond it. It's not allowing you to grow. And like, part of being human, or part of this experience is the opportunity to grow with, you know, every day that we're here, every moment that we're here. With the Wheel of Fortune, you know, this is just that reminder that life will bring you circumstances and situations. Life is always ever changing. So you may be holding on and you may be trying and you may be trying to withstand all of these things, but life is going to give you a lot of other stuff. And, you know, if you're in a situation where you're just always trying to make it work, eventually life, the thing that life throws at you is going to make it very, very, very difficult for you to keep in this energy, because we're not really meant to keep in this energy. And so this can be in the way of a thought. This can be in the way of exposure to something else. This can be in a way of just a deep, deep desire that you hold within you that is unsatiated and is making you crazy. And so with this Page of Wands, there's this energy of like, it may be time, like life may be presenting whatever it needs to present for you to realize, you know, you can choose this or you can choose this. Which one are you going to choose? And if you choose this, you're in for another cycle of this. If you choose this, it's a brand new cycle. You know what I'm saying? And so there's something here where someone is on the precipice of leaving something, or really, really, really considering or contemplating. Yeah, see? Oh my God. Seriously? Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, the Chariot. See, someone is definitely getting to the place where they cannot fool themselves anymore, where the wave is getting exposed. It's like, oh, hold on a minute. I haven't been seeing any other way to do this or any other way to be other than I've got to keep trying to desire what I already have, or I've got to continue to try to make this thing work. And with the Ace of Swords, it's like, it's like I'm finally coming inside myself. I'm finally going, wait a second, why am I doing this? Why do I have to do this? I actually read a book recently, and there was someone who was an alcoholic and in the book, and then their wife, and the wife kept saying, you know, please stop drinking, and the alcoholic would get really defensive and really mad and would like yell and say some really ugly, nasty things and sort of turn it back on the other person. And then it became this up the ante of, you know, who can do the kind of like the worst thing, or who can be in the most pain, or who can be, you know, anyway, it's a toxic cycle, right? And so the only way to like break that is to disengage from it and to like engage in something different. And I think this is the realization that I have been putting this relationship or whatever this is above my own desires for so long that I almost forgot that I am a person with my own desires, and that, you know, this is my life, and I should have the opportunity, or I do have the opportunity, or I do have the power to choose, at least for myself, what I'm going to put my energy toward. And do I want to continue to put it toward this thing that does not give back to me? Or do I want to go for what I really, really desire? And it's like being in a washing machine, you know, and just going around and around and around and being like, okay, but this is what I have to do, but this is what I have to do, but this is what I have to do. And then going, wait a minute, but do I really? You know, the washing machine stops and you get out and you go pursue what you want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, it's like a major awakening with this Ace of Swords of like, this is what I'm doing. I'm spending my entire life in this cycle. I'm not changing anything. I'm not choosing myself. I'm not prioritizing myself. And then I'm expecting someone else to prioritize me. And I'm tolerating the situation that I'm in and the treatment that I'm getting. And I'm tolerating living a life that lacks what really sets me on fire as a person, so that, for what? So that I can keep up a charade, so that I can honor a commitment that I made when I was a completely different person. So, and I'm not saying like divorce is the answer. I'm not saying like we shouldn't honor our commitments. I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm saying certainly it's okay to evaluate things. And that when you're talking about commitments, that's a two-way street. And if someone else isn't honoring their commitment to you, then, you know, the contract is like, in my opinion, suspect to change at the very least. It's like if I were to enter a lease with a landlord and it said we're going to provide cable and trash service and you know, I don't know. And I never got the cable service, I never got the trash service. I kept contacting them, I kept saying, you know what I mean, and I never got it. Then I wouldn't be getting what I'm paying for, and so the contract would be null and void. I'm not a lawyer, but to me that means like I'm trying to honor my commitment to you. I'm trying to even tell you, here's how you're not honoring your commitment to me, here's your opportunity to fix that. And if somebody's not going to fix that, then what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Then you're not honoring your commitment to me, but you're expecting me to honor my commitment to you, and you're expecting me to set aside what I desire, which is cable and trash service, you know, because you just don't feel like honoring your commitment. Like, no, that's not okay. So we need to reevaluate the commitment itself then, the contract, whatever. With this Wheel of Fortune and this Ace of Wands, there is this energy of you being guided, or it's like it's on your mind what you desire. With this, it is even coming through that like third eye chakra of like your intuition is telling you that now is the time for you to pursue your own desires, or it's like putting this heavy influence on, like, I really desire this, I really desire this, I really desire this, I really desire this, what happens if I just go after what I desire? You know, it's like thoughts like that. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is something that is divine timing, and it is divinely guided. And especially with it being on the third eye like that, it's very much like something that you can't get out of your mind, that you can't really stop desiring, or that you can't stop wanting. And why is that? And it's requiring so much of your focus, because it's telling you now is the time for you to go after what you desire. Page of Wands, Ace of Wands, that's it. With the Chariot, it's like this is something that sometimes you don't know how it's all going to work out. Sometimes you don't know the next step or whatever. But with the Chariot, there's almost this energy of trusting what you can't escape, what you know, what you think, what you feel, what you can't get off your mind. Trusting that it is guiding you and taking you somewhere, and it is taking you toward a space that is meant for you. And once you begin to make those choices, once you begin to choose your desire, once you say, yes, I'm open for this path, yes, I'm choosing this path, yes, I am prioritizing myself this time, and I'm doing what is in my best interest and what is, you know, in alignment with my desire and myself, it will all work out. You will go towards success and victory. That this is what is the most important thing, right? So I don't know if this is you, Pisces, or if this is your person, or if this is both of you. That it's all sort of coming together like this. Oh man, there's that Two of Swords and the Four of Swords. So the Two of Swords a lot of times are these thoughts that are keeping us. There's like a decision that has to be made, and we're avoiding it. We don't really want to make a decision. It's a card of Libra. And Libra is very well known to be indecisive. And it's kind of like, okay, there's this decision in front of me, but it's like, how can I avoid it? And you know, even here with these two dogs in this picture, it's giving me like, I'll stay in this loveless marriage, I'll stay in this loveless relationship, it's really giving me that vibe. And I don't know, that may not be everybody's story here, but like, or I'll stay in this job that's not really fulfilling me, that's not really exciting me, or whatever in the heck it is. It's kind of just like, you know, to avoid making some kind of change, or to avoid having to make a difficult decision. With the Four of Swords, you can see, okay, see these two swords? It's crazy with these checkerboard patterns, right? But you can see the Four of Swords up here on the wall. It's saying, okay, let me just remove this what is looming, what is pending, what is sort of keeping me stuck, this thing that I'm trying to avoid. Let me just release myself from this for a moment and let myself have some space and just say, I don't have to make a decision about this right now. Or there's the other method, which is saying I have made the decision and it's whatever, and I'm going to pretend that I've made this decision. I'm going to live with it for a couple of days, and I'm going to see if I'm going to try it on and see if I like it. But at least the decision itself will not be looming over me and will not be putting this unsurmountable pressure on me. Because with the devil, it's understanding and realizing this is what has become the great blockage in my life. This is what has become the thing that's really preventing me from being able to transform or to be able to allow something in my life to change. Let's see. Yeah, I got the death card, and I mean, there's skeletons here, so I didn't say anything because I was like, wow, but yeah, look at this. So we have the Page of Swords coming on the Two of Swords. So this is saying, like, I'm having this aha moment. That really me avoiding trying to make this decision is the thing that is preventing me from going after what I desire. And it's also preventing me probably from having any kind of emotional contentment or any kind of even like mental peace. Because I'm constantly saddled with this task of trying to make myself okay with where I'm at or what I'm doing, but it's kind of an energy of like settling, you know what I mean? Four of Swords is being clarified by death and rebirth, okay? And this is the transformation, letting something end so that something else can begin. I'm avoiding that. I have been avoiding that. And once I clear my mind, once I take that decision, that looming decision or the pressure of that decision, or this kind of entrenched way of thinking that has kept me in this position, that has kept me deprioritizing my own desires in life, once I just get my freedom from that, once I just let myself go, that's when, I can find it. Yeah, underneath that is actually the Page of Wands. I'm going to take one on this devil here, but with the Six of Wands in reverse, it's like, it can be an energy of just even having someone recognize that I am a thinking, feeling person with my own desires. Here's her desire right here. And it's even like for myself, deprioritizing my own desires and putting other people's needs ahead of my own. Or staying in a situation, that didn't work. To avoid a decision. Or to avoid even looking at where my life is heading or where it's going, and actually actively choosing it and playing a part in it and playing a role in it and saying it's not chosen for me. I have the option to go after my own desire here. This is pretty intense, Pisces. Someone's making a big decision here to actually pursue what they actually want. And I think it's going to bring about a huge transformation and a huge change. I think right now they're in some sort of like clearing their minds, getting themselves mentally prepared. They've been stuck and saddled in a way of thinking that was defeating them. Or this could even be in a relationship with someone who was manipulative and whose words were defeating them. This can even be themselves with themselves, though, of kind of saying to themselves, no, I can't look at this a different way. I can't, address this in another way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's hard to put like that. If you're dealing with a water sign, I compare others to you. I feel so happy with you. You broke my heart. I can't be with you. I see life differently now. Okay. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you're getting someone is undergoing a spiritual transformation. I still have feelings for you. You and this person don't share the same vision. Forgiving yourself or another will help you move forward. I lost myself for a little while. You're dealing with an earth sign. I know you don't feel the same. Detach with love to clearly see the truth. I can't get enough of you. I want to be more than friends. Finding out the truth crushed me, and everything happens for a reason. You know, for some of you, this could even be a situation where you've been hanging on to, like, you know, hope of something coming back together and sort of putting your own desires on hold or your own needs on hold. And then sort of coming to this place where you're like, oh, okay, I don't need to do that anymore. Like, you know, whatever. And there's something here about timing, but I think it's going to be very clear to you with that Wheel of Fortune. I feel like whatever this is, either this is someone coming back into your life and saying, I'm ready for something I wasn't ready for before, because I'm ready to choose myself and I'm ready to choose what I desire and I'm ready to free myself from anything and just come into a place where I'm telling people, this is the way I'm living my life. This is what I desire. And it, you know, you can like it or hate it, but you have to accept it, period. If you're dealing with an air sign, I would do it all again. You and I were too young. A new love or recommitment to love is developing. It was my fault, but I blamed you. And this relationship can stand the test of time. Pisces, this was kind of abstract. These cards always give me an abstract reading, but it's like also extremely intense. It like really goes into that clairsentient part of me. So I hope that it worked out for you. I hope that it made sense for you. And I hope more than anything that it brought you a sense of peace and clarity. Until next time, Pisces, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.